What's good, family, 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 Queen Common Sense, bright and early. It is 6:52 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm talking kind of low because it's really early in the morning here. And I rolled across a gem. It lit up a light bulb in me as a reminder with my own battles of healing from severe narcissistic abuse from my mother. Early mornings like this for me are like Uber power surge type channel sessions. My mind is racing, so I try to slow it down with educational things that I have to think about to hone in my mind on one topic so that I can go back to sleep, if that makes sense. So I couldn't go back to sleep because this video, shout out to Mental Healness, Lee Hammock. He's a diagnosed narcissist and he is an amazing soul for this, for his work he's doing. Um, I ran across him, I want to say, right before the pandemic, and I watched his channel explode, yo. I came across a video that explains how a narcissist, where a narcissist learns how to manipulate. Check this out, y'all. We're going to get right into it this morning. We having a group session, powwow, okay? This is called in the Native American land, early rising devotion. And we go outside and we devote gratitude back to the earth. This is the time where you should be counting all your blessings. The old people call it the witching hour. Check this out, y'all. Check out Lee Hammock. Shout out to him. If you are connected to a narcissist, been uh, touched by a narcissist in any way in your life, holler at Lee Hammock. I'm about to do that too myself. I just started therapy again, um, preparing to do therapy again, because as we all know, healing is a journey, right? You constantly healing. Check it out.
People are not all smart master. They're not all smart people. Let's just say that right there. I'm not gonna say narcissists are dumb because if y'all just agree like no narcissists are super dumb, they're all so stupid. Then you got to kind of take a look, just like okay, they're stupid, but you see I'm going with this. Not all narcissists.
See, this is what I'm talking about with when I say the snot brothers are so smart, they stupid. You understand? Because it's a duality of energies dealing with a narcissist. And this is where narcissists learn how to manipulate. Black Mouth, Mamba, Marceau.
Narcissists are dumb, but you don't have to be dumb or smart to be a manipulator. You don't have to be weak to get manipulated. It's just like narcissists.
Exactly. There are many powerful people, mainly, namely, Black women who are very intelligent, strong, powerful women. Melody is nowhere near dumb, okay? You don't have to be a dumb to get manipulated by a narcissist. And here's why. This is why I can't stand stupid people who call intelligent people dumb. Okay, people who don't have a, a shiny pot to piss in, nor a window sill to throw it out of, as my grandmother used to say. And that was one of the most foul words she ever used was words like piss. She thought that was strong language. That just tells you how sweet and wise my grandmother was with a third grade education. Okay. Now, when Slow Slaw, side winding bench warmer is always talking about how dumb Melody was or is, you know, a person that doesn't have anything to show for 10 years of being a human garbage dump, a dumpster, that like that math doesn't math, does it? Let's go.
Narcissistic people get so good at manipulation because it's survival. Get so good at manipulating people, manipulating others, because that's how we learn how to survive in our childhood.
You see this here. You heard it. Survival. Every one of them Scott brothers is a manipulator. Every one of them have lied in some way, shape, or form. Lying is a tool of manipulation. Let's just leave it there. Let's rest there. Every one of them have lied, and then the lie that they told was so unnecessary. Manipulation starts with an overwhelming influx of being barraged with unnecessary information. That's how narcissism starts. They're shapeshifters. They know no other energy but survival mode. And that's a really fucked up mode to be in energetically. I'm a living testimony, walking, talking, breathing being. I lived in survival mode for more than 30 years, even after I became an adult, because when you are forced to be connected to a narcissist like a parent, as a child, you have no voice. You have no choices, no resources. This goes deep, y'all. So, survival mode, this also indicates to me, in my opinion, energetically, that those snot brothers, in my opinion, had a really hard road to hoe as children. Okay, we talking about manipulation now. Fast forward to these so-called adults we see on Love and Marriage Huntsville. What have they been doing in concordance with their current spouses? Two of them. One of them ain't got no damn spouse. They've been in survival mode, hopping from pillar to post, hither and yon, latching on, leeching on to high powered. What do narcissists need the most? Power, resources, money, energy, coddling, ego stroking, certain type of lifestyle to put on the appearance of them being what? Leaders, the head of the household, the breadwinner. Let's go.
That's how we learn how to survive growing up. That's how we learn how to survive coming up into this world. That's how we learned. That's part of the process. That's how we got here in the first place. You know what I mean? So that's one of the things that can happen with narcissistic people is that, like, when we are growing up, we are always on self-defense. Very rarely do we feel safe growing up, right? So we learn how to manipulate and defend ourselves against other people. Typically, it's the abusive parent that we had or the neglectful parent.
Okay. Well, pump the brakes. Why would the snots be in survival mode? If two parents were still in the household. The father was the breadwinner, and the mother was home with the children and caring for the temple and bringing balance to the village. If they had to be in survival mode at home with their mama, then mama working 3, 4, 6, 12 jobs is not in alignment with one of the lies the Snots told about how well Papa Scott Snot held it down for the family because they have multiple siblings in that family. Now, was Papa Snot a Rolling Stone as well? Did Mama Snot have to work all those jobs because she was maybe the side chick? Or was she the wife and Papa Snot had a side family and a side chick too? We all know that area is very small, okay? And we understand why certain type of men, women do it too, but certain these type of black men need supply. They need to survive. So they go digging for those hidden gems like a melody, you know, like a Kimmy. Even though I don't really care for Kimmy's energy and how she carried her fence ride self around the black community as sisters, I don't like her at all. But Kimmy at least had something going for herself and she was self sufficient. Okay. I don't like and approve and care for or co sign how she acquired her first son, nor do I agree with how she acquired her now husband either. Let's make that clear. Let's go on here. How do narcissists, weird narcissists, learn how to manipulate?
that we had growing up, right? That's typically how it goes. But most times in these situations, narcissistic people, like, it's just it becomes an innate behavior. You know? It's just like, damn, I'm just doing this subconsciously, you know. And the more, and just like playing sports, or just like, you know, just like playing sports or doing anything like that, the more you do it, the better you get at it. You know, the
Keep it, listen, they playing a game all up in our face. All up in our face, they playing a game. The snots. All up in it, all up in the Kool-Aid playing. They're good at it. This is all they know. Tisha, in my opinion, manipulator, survival mode. Okay, I didn't get good nurturing and nourishment spiritually from my mama because she was a hot box dot chasing anything with a zipper, in my opinion. So now I'm in survival mode. I gotta find someone to lean on to be codependent. It started off with my degrees. I have to fill that void. All my job, my hard work, and you know, I watched my mom fall flat on her face chasing a man. So I have to change that energy. My degrees mean the world to me. I have a sister like Tisha, you know, not very intelligent, but educated. You you see what I mean? What he's talking about? Check it out.
more the more consistent I am with being manipulative, the more toxic I am, the more, the older I get, the more experience I have, the better I get at manipulating people. You know? So I'm going to be a better manipulator as an adult that has been through 10, 15, 20 relationships than I was as a as a teenager in my first relationship, in my third relationship. You see what I'm saying? Like, I learn as I go, and like a lot of narcissistic people learn as they go along. what worked on you or what didn't work on you might not work on or might work on the next person, the new supply. You see, the things they learn as they go. They learn as they go, and they learn as they grow. So that's why I try to convince people.
You see, they learn as they go. Ike Turner Holt. He know that he can't just hop from the frying pan right into the freezer like he did with Slow Slaw. Understand, Martell stated it on the interview. He felt good about putting people in places and paying bills and, you know, having his ego stroke, being told he was important, being heard. Huh? He said that on one of the episodes to his either uncle, cousin, somebody he said he trusted. Okay, he said that. He said it. Okay. He felt good. He felt like moving people in places, putting them in places. Huh? First must last. Boom, it's done. Don't worry about the rent. I got you. Come on now. Come on now. Playing all up in her face, right? When I was 24, I had two children, okay? And couldn't nothing no married man say to me to make me dive off a cliff like this, okay? I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I had two children. I was doing everything I could to get my life in order so I could feel some sense of dignity about myself. I wanted that for myself. Anyway, let's go.
Hey, look, this narcissistic person that you're with right now, they might be absolutely just detrimentally toxic to everyone around them, but they learned it from somewhere. They got it from somewhere. They didn't just wake up toxic as hell. They wasn't born toxic and self defense manipulation. A lot of times it's environmental.
You hear this? And that's the majority of the generational curse of emotional, mental, and physical abuse within the Black community that is causing so much trauma when these individuals, when we grow up to be adults, we then pass on the trauma to the people closest to us in our environment, which is our children. It's a generational chain that has to be broken and exposed. These people, stop protecting them, stop lying for them, stop feeling guilty for calling the cops on their ass when they act like an animal you call the damn zookeeper. Okay? This ain't kumbaya no more. This ain't the 70s. We ain't hippie children. I'm a Malcolm X baby. I'm not a Martin Luther King baby. Okay? You're not gonna trample and run roughshod all over me after what I survived through. My childhood was a mess, and you think I'm gonna let you come back at this stage in my life, come into my life and turn it upside down. Sheree, you better block, delete, change your number. Uh, I don't know. Put spam blocker, robocaller on your phone. Download that app. I'm telling you, if Arion want to be the doggone emotional punching bag for Ike Turner Hope to take his misery out on, by all means, let her suffer in peace. You know, it's one thing when it's a parent and a child situation. That is very difficult to navigate dealing with a narcissist. When it's something that you can choose not to deal with and you continue to keep your wagon hitched to a crazy, deranged, dimly lit star, listen, you just as narcissistic as the one that is abusing you. Okay? It's called masochist and sadist. relationship. Check it out.
The manipulation becomes a side effect of the environment that they are in, the environment that we grow up in, the environment that we are a part of, pretty much. You know, that becomes part of this dynamic and whatnot. So that's why I try to tell people. I just like I want people to heal and learn and grow, but we
And this is why them niggas don't want to go to therapy. Okay? They don't want to go to therapy. When you see Maurice went to intimate therapy sessions, because that's all that motivates him. When you lead with your backside, guess what? This is what you get. You trained a stray animal how to behave by always showing them your backside. Now, when them cheeks uh get bitten off, no screaming, because this is how you trained them. I mean, if I'm off base, let me know, y'all. Let's go.
when you're dealing with narcissists, I didn't like.
Yeah, this is a little commercial, so listen. Marsau Black Mamba manipulate. Why y'all out painting the town, stomping the land, and you ain't got no money? You owe people money.
People like if you are their sixth wife or their sixth marriage, their sixth husband, they're going to be better at manipulating you than they were with the first spouse. You know, and like I said, they learn as they go. They learn as they go and they learn as they grow. Like we get it. We pick up new traits and new techniques from our own personal experience or from our own parents. Like the abusive or neglectful parent that we had that might have contributed to us being narcissistic. We learn from them. If we're watching one parent be toxic as hell and manipulative to the other or cheat and abuse the other parent, then we are learning those behaviors as well. We are picking up on those behaviors as well. They're right in front of us.
Okay. So if every older woman, starting with your mother, your grandmother, aunties, older female cousins, if all of them around you have thought tendencies, that's all you see, then it's a very slim chance that that particular young lady that's witnessing thought behavior is not going to grow up to want to aspire to be a thought. Okay? Period. Same thing with little boys. If all they see are males around them resolving conflicts and disagreements with violence, whether it's yelling, screaming, punching things, slamming things around, threatening of physical harm done, executed, that is what that young boy is going to think is the norm for any conflict, whether it be minute or astronomical. That's all they know. Peep, peep this, y'all.
You know, this is our first little narcissism. You know, like, is there a class that narcissists learn and pick up their traits from, how to be manipulated? Yeah, a lot of times the first classroom is their home. You know, they get homeschooled for narcissism. You know, it's a homeschool for narcissism. Like for real, I know it sounds silly, but that's how it goes. In the mindset of a lot of toxic, narcissistic, abusive people. Like they get homeschooled. They learn it from home and they take it out into the real. They take it out into the real world and they perfect their craft. They hone in on their craft. You know? They hone in on it. They wake up and they just keep doing it and getting worse and getting worse and getting worse. They get worse at how they treat people, but they get better at manipulating people. So that's why I just tell people, just because you see somebody in a long-term relationship with your toxic narcissistic ex, doesn't mean that person is happy with them now. They could be just like you were a victim. They could be a victim as well, but they're just getting a different form of manipulation because some people, or just being realistic, some people might be more susceptible to manipulation. They might be in a vulnerable state. You might be in a vulnerable state. That narcissistic person might be going through a moment of grief. They learn how to use grief in their circumstances to guilt you into believing them.
And see, this is why I think that when Sheree claimed she didn't know nothing about what type of man Martell was, he was always respectful, yada, yada, yada around her. When they were walking through New York and he was taking little subliminal jabs at her for the fact that she wore glasses, that right there tells me a lot about a man when he talk like that. When his frequency is so low that he feels, you know, a form of a backhanded comment is a joke with a woman that he's dating. Now we all have a good sense of humor. You gotta laugh at yourself sometimes. I get it. But to make fun of a person because they can't see or, they need glasses to read, that's a little petty. We all kind of, that's for somebody who you're more familiar with, in my opinion. That's just me. I'm a little bit old school mixed with a little new school. But when we're dating on that level, you want to be yourself, but you don't want to be rude. You don't want to be too familiar with me with certain type of way you joke and play with me. That's just me. Now, everybody different. Everybody got different standard, but I'm very sensitive, so I'm big on energy. If there's if it's a lighthearted joke, it's one thing, but that was not a joke to me. That was an insult and with a chuckle. Okay, that's what I'm talking about. You don't even know you're being abused and manipulated. They start moving you with very subtle things they do that could escalate into more abusive, more overt, more deliberate ways of abuse. See, they see what you let slide. Okay, that's how you ignore those red flags. Oh, she let that little smart comment slide. Because if we're dating with a purpose, and I'm considering, you know, a, a partner, and we're adults in our 40s and 50s, I'm dating for a purpose. So if I'm considering linking up with you on a permanent level, it should be, you know, easy to talk nice to me, honey, right? And we're just dating. We're just dating. We're not even really getting down to the nitty gritty yet. We ain't even made a decision if we like each other like that, right? Dating. That's what the fuck dating is. And then you can make a comment, see Sheree, she need glasses, see them comments there. As opposed to, oh, let me see. You want to pause so you grab your glasses, let me get some comments look like they said some nice things on the live on IG. Let's go. Let's check it out.
Them or forgetting things or forgiving them and whatnot, or just moving past certain issues. Just the situation is very important. So narcissistic people tend to use their situation and their environments as an excuse for their toxic behaviors. So they convince you. If you're a kind, caring, empathetic person, you might be easier to manipulate, but by a narcissistic person that is preying and playing on your emotional state.
You heard that. That narcissist play on your emotional state with Maurice Luther King. What do you think he did with Kim? He really didn't have to do too much because she chased his ass. Same thing with Marsau, Black Mamba, Scott. Tisha was not the brightest bulb in the box. He didn't give a good damn about her college experience and success story and her getting ready to leave the nest and go to her internship in Cali that she gave up because she got knocked up before she got married. So then they got married. And then having to sacrifice something she worked hard for a bum like Marceau, who was working at a damn as a manager in a movie theater where she could have been off in La La Land in Los Angeles living her best life. Probably would have been for real married to a rich man by now for a good solid decade or more if she had chased her own damn dreams instead of a a a a, a dusty wannabe shot caller who couldn't complete his business certifications and classes. Let me stop. Let's go.
That is playing or preying on your the mindset that you have, like what you possess and what you have going on right now. That's a distinct possibility of what is going on, of what is happening and whatnot. So that's why I want to tell people, I just like narcissistic people. The more and this is going to sound crazy. No, it's not going to sound crazy. The more chances you give them, the better they might become at manipulating you, or just thinking that they can get away with it, or just thinking that you accept their behaviors, whatever their behaviors are. They think you are accepting of the behaviors.
That you see, the longer you let them get away with it, the worse it gets, the better they are at manipulating you. Had Melody stayed any longer, she would be dot 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 praise the great creator. She cut out and bounce. Look at how she has like a supernova. Okay, a phoenix is beneath Melody now. A supernova. Okay, now look at Kim. Look at Tisha. Look at look at them. I mean, these are women who low key hated on Tiffany's marriage to Big Lou as if it wasn't all that it was cracked up to be. But you see what Big Lou did with his wife and his brand baby and their two sons. He said, I'm out of here. Okay, this shit ain't worth it. We're gonna figure it out. But although I really don't care for Tiffany much either, okay, Tiffany can be messy now. I don't like messy just to be messy. But you know what? Them snot brothers are messier than females. And that's what I'm trying to say. Where do you think they learn this messiness from? They always up underneath their mama. Okay, and what do some of these broken, damaged women do when they learn that they have a husband who got a side family? Back in the day, they're bitter. They choose to stay, yet they've been spiritually and energetically separate, but the household is still intact physically, and there's tension that the children have to grow up under. And then the main breadwinner has pulled most or the majority or all of the resources out of the main home. So that not just the wife, but the children with the wife have to suffer while he skipped to Malou over to the side person because he got caught. So then the loyalty and all that is broken, and the mother don't know what to do with all that energy. So who is the closest one to them? The kids catch it, okay? If she is not on top of her game, because you have to be able to compartmentalize the anger and and vengeance you feel toward your child's father, and still be a conducive co-parent with them, whether you're still married to them or not, or in a relationship with them or not. We know that there are plenty of us who have a problem doing that. Okay, my mother had a problem with that. When she was upset with my father, she wanted all of us to be upset with him. When she was upset with one of us, she wanted everybody to be upset with one of us. Most times that was me, the baby, the youngest. And to this day, I can be minding my own business, and in some way, shape, or form, it will get back to me. This was before I went no contact. That there was a jab thrown, a dart tossed, some hate spilled somewhere about me, uh, from a person that I don't talk to. Imagine how weird that is for Melody and anybody else in that situation. You don't even know this bird brain. You wouldn't know her if she fell out the sky and landed on. But this particular chicken head cannot stand you, all based upon hearsay from a manipulative spouse who is creeping. Can you imagine how disturbing that is on the receiving end? Let's go. We don't got a little bit more.
So they try to manipulate you into thinking that you're okay with the behaviors. They learn from experience. Like experience, it tends to be experience is the best teacher. So if I'm learning, if I get into this experience from home, then I'm going to be better at manipulating people. I'm going to be better at getting inside of people's minds and whatnot. So I take what I learned from home. I got an A plus in homeschool, in narcissistic homeschool, manipulation 101. I got an A plus. I'm the valedictorian of homeschool. I graduated summa cum laude from homeschool in narcissism with a degree in toxic manipulation and narcissism, with a minor in gaslighting, because that's what happens, y'all. It's this defense mechanism, and sometimes, and let's just be realistic, they just get lucky. Some of the stuff that they say is so outlandish and so outrageous that they just get lucky with this stuff, and some of it might feel true. They use a little bit of the truth and expound upon it. They use a little bit of the truth and cover it in lies. It's kind of like a lollipop. Like how the bubble gum is in the center of a lollipop. They cover the lollipop up with poop. There's bubble gum in the center of it. The truth is in the center, but the rest of it is poop. You know what I mean? Anyways, y'all, I'm gonna keep this episode super short and super.
There you go. Where narcissists learn how to manipulate. Most times it's the environment, because women like Marlene, Wasteland Wander, and the Snots Mama, they spiritually make their older sons the head of the household. So it's their surrogate spouse, because the husband or the father or the partner is unavailable emotionally, devoid of any type of empathy for that woman. They're emotionally detached. So the eldest, most times it's the son or the oldest boy, is then in a sick way emulates the man of the house. And that's why I used to slap fire off my brother when he would tell that to my sons. You're the man of the house. Did, did, ta, 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 ta. No, 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 no. Nope. He is not the head of the house. This was when I was divorcing. Ah, he's not the head of the house. Right now, mommy is the head of the house. And if mommy gets married again and it's an appropriate communion of energy, that husband will be the head of the house. Okay? No, he's not the head of the house. They're my sons. I'm responsible for them. And that's just the way that it goes. Their father has passed over, transition. When we were together, their father was the head of the house. Okay? That's how that works. Period. we go at it. But he got to learn to protect his mama. Okay, he does. He will. But he's not the head or the man of the house. Ladies, got to stop doing that with your sons that still live with you. There's nothing wrong with letting them stay when they're grown as long as they earn their keep and they respect your house until they're ready to do what they got to do on their own. However, growing up, stop telling these little boys that they're the man of the house because sometimes that shit backfire and they turn around and show you better than they can tell you that their little ego is too big and they wind up putting the paws on their mamas like the ex spouse or the abusive boyfriend or child father does. We see an influx of that as well. Okay. These men, young boys, 20-ish and up, but starting young as 12 and 15, pummeling and exploding violence all over black girls and young women because they cannot accept rejection. Okay. They learned it from somewhere. Okay. And as a mother, when you're disciplining your men children, because they're growing up to be men, they're not going to be little boys and young forever. Young men, they're going to grow up. When you use corporal punishment as a mother, slapping them in the face upside the head, calling them all out of their name, using all kind of derogatory insults surrounding what you are conveying to your sons, that is abuse. They will grow up to think that it is okay to quote unquote discipline people in the same fashion. And then you wonder why you keep doing this, why you keep going to jail, why you can't act right because of the environment I grew up in. This is what you taught me how to fix things or how to communicate when I'm angry or when I'm frustrated, or when I don't get the result from others that I want, mainly attention. Hello? So, y'all tell me what you think about that. I'm going to get ready to start my day. Take a few more minutes to meditate. I hope you all are getting some good sleep because I'm having problems here. We're going to fix it though. We working on it. All right. Grand Rising. Om Shanti Om Namaste. Take good care of yourself and drink your water. I'm about to go get me some water as well. I'm out, fam.